Now we're live. Hello, hello, hello. Maybe we did. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. Hello, Libby. Hi, Vicky. Morning from Australia. Debs is here. Deb Jacks. Hello, Angie Medler. Hello. They're all coming in now, Gary. Hello, Anne Blake. Good to see you.
I am.
How is Max? That's right, isn't it? That's you, isn't it, Anne? Pia's here. Hello, Pia. Hello, 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 hello. So what time did you get back, Gary?
Just after midday.
Just after midday. Did you manage to get a kip?
No. No. I've been up since 5:30.
Oh. Hi, Meta. Salut.
Meta. Salut.
Dawn's here. Hello, Dawn. Good to see
Hi,
you.
Dawn.
Oh, this seems to be working. I like the fact that we can see everybody's names.
I like this.
He seems worse the last few days. Hoof boots arrived, so shoes off on Saturday. Let's get those shoes off and let's start getting him fixed. Hi, Julie from Scotland. The Bradbury 2 screens. One on one. What are you doing? Sat next to each other, or one side of the room and the other side of the room. You're looking at each other periodically and going, What are we going to talk about tonight? I wonder.
That's nearly as bad as me and you being from one house to the other.
I know. I know. Hello.
You're right.
Oh dear. It's been busy today. Well, just busy in the office. Hey there, says Dawn. Hi, Dawn.
Hi, Dawn.
How's the challenge? And how are the horses? How are the boys? How are they doing together? Hi, Jackie. Hi from Scotland as well. Kim Studley says, hi, everyone. Not sure if my... Oh, yes. You know, I went to sleep last night and I went, who? Somebody asked a question. I'm glad you brought, and I didn't answer it. I'm glad you've brought that up. Hi, I'm not sure if my question was spoken about on the live yesterday, so I had to leave the chat. Dental question. My horse dentist tells me diet doesn't make a difference to their teeth. Surely.
Sorry, maybe... lack of sleep. I may not have no filter this evening.
No filter. Surely, hey, 24/7 would benefit their teeth. Oh, yeah. I mean,
of course.
It's only common. Of course. I mean, are they talking about internally affecting their teeth, or are they talking about actually keeping them in good fettle? Because hay grinding fiber, of course, is the right thing for a horse to do. That's why he's got these massive molar arcades. If you're just eating grass, then you're more likely to have a horse who's more prone to having hooks and sharp edges because they're not grinding down on those surfaces. So yeah, it does. Well, from everything that we've ever had,
I've had another thought. If they're constantly on short, sugary grass, would that be the same as kids eating sweets?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it rots their teeth.
Oh, well, yes.
Did you see what I mean? So sugar, all of that extra sugar going in and not that active chewing on the grass, would that have an impact on the teeth? I would imagine it would.
Well, when we went to the conference, Chris Pierce was there, and he is one of the sort of well-renowned vet dentists in the UK. Well, I should say the top vet dentist in the UK. And he did say diet has an effect. Absolutely. They can get diastemas. They can get issues in their teeth if they are not on a proper fiber diet. So you can get issues. Absolutely. It was going to affect the whole body, isn't it? I mean, if Mother Nature's there in her boardroom going, "Hey, they've got to eat lots of fibre. So what are we going to do? Lots of molars in the back there." "Oh," says Lucy at the back, "what happens if they only eat grass?" "Well, they're not going to just eat grass, are they?" "Well, they will when they get to the 20th and 21st century. Well, it's a long way off yet.
Playing devil's advocate as well, if we know that the diet has an effect on the feet, so surely the diet has an effect on the whole horse.
It does, and
of course it does.
And you know, we've got all sorts of horrid things that happen to every single part of the horse. Somebody was talking about EORTH yesterday, and how that can be a problem for horses. Equine I'm going to have to read this because I won't get it right. Equine odontoclastic tooth resorption. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And that's a syndrome where the horse's resorptive lesions of the incisors, so they start to just basically and around their canine teeth, and it's a gradual onset. Often it isn't diagnosed until quite extensive lesions are present, most commonly as a condition of older horses 15 plus. So it gets the gums, around the gums. While the syndrome has probably existed for many years, it's only recently properly been identified and named. Diagnosis is typically made through radiographs of the incisors. This is the only way to know definitively how many teeth are affected. They take them out as well. Wasn't
I think one of my clients has had
Jane Savage.
That's right, yeah.
It's Jane Savage, wasn't it? Yeah,
I'm sure
she had
the same condition, and
EORTH.
I had another client in the UK as well that had a FOAL pony with the same condition.
Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Grace says, "Did you see my abscess recovery client? Interesting to talk about." I did. We can talk about that. I'm very proud of you there, Grace. You did very well. You've done very good, all three of you. You, the pony, and the owner. Very, very good. Karen's here. Hello, Karen. Anne says he has pulses in his fronts, but not on grass or any feed, just hay. Backs are off and they are looking good. He's got inflammation throughout his foot, not just from the lamini and the diet. He's also got inflammation in his joints. It all needs to calm down, and hopefully we can stop any progression of any other issues that are going on in there with the bones and the joints. But give it time. Give it time. And while the shoes are on, the foot can't behave the way it needs to. So you'll get there. It will be very up and down. Do not be surprised if he doesn't throw out a few big abscesses. Jenny's here. Morning from New Zealand. We question, will the replays go up on TPW, the Phoenix Way, like old Sister Melina guys, or only via YouTube? Right. Well, here's an interesting thing. So I am going to put the links to the webinar up, but they won't be able to stay there forever because they will eventually get removed off our server here on StreamYard. But they will then be in YouTube. So when that happens, what we will do, I think I will update the guides with a YouTube link. There's nothing we can do about it, sadly, because if I do the guide with the StreamYard link to this now, then it's not going to be there forever. You'll click on it one day and you'll be like, where's it gone? And it's gone because it's been removed off the server. But it will always be there on YouTube. But there is a bit of a delay. But while there's that delay happening, I'll try and make sure that I keep one open at a time. So when it's up onto YouTube, then it'll probably get removed off the server. Good question. The challenge is fab. The boys are so happy together, and I've made a very long track around the perimeter of their field. So it's got grass, but they have to walk a long way for water, and the grass is quite poor. Well done. You see, horses can be horses. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Well done. Hello again. My question didn't come through last time. So what about hay versus dry meadow grasses, as in soakable pellets, nuts? Yeah, this is an interesting one, actually, because obviously if we've got a horse with dental challenges, then there are only so many ways that we can get that fiber into them. Preferably, you want to use short chop rather than processed nuts. And the reason I say that is because we think they become more bioavailable when they are processed in the nut. Obviously, you can take quite a lot of hay and that can get compressed right down into small nuts. And I know that they say soak it and it blows up a bit, doesn't it? But it would never blow up as much as, you know, you would have had you had that hay in loose in a bag, let's say. And so therefore, there is something about it becoming too available, I suspect. That's in biology, that is what would happen because of the fact that it is in that processed pellet form. It seems, you know, most people wouldn't, I guess, think about that too much. They'd be like, well, it's meadow hay, it's meadow hay, it's just it happens to be in a pellet form. Well, it's not quite the same, is it? Because it's a process concentrated version of it. So we do see horses who could be on effectively meadow grass, meadow hay, and then have meadow grass pellets, and they don't do so well on the pellets because it can tip them over the edge. And this is definitely partly because of the way that the body processes it once it gets inside the body. So just be aware, in terms of bioavailability for the body, it's not the same. And also, if it's been so compressed then and made a lot smaller into smaller pieces, then you're doing quite a bit of the job that the microbes, etc., would have done. It's already been done for you, and therefore there are going to be more things available to the enzymes, more nutrients available to the enzymes before it gets to the hind gut. So that is all part and parcel of it. If you are going to feed because it's concentrated because it's been put into a pellet or a nut. So if you're going to feed anything like that, you've got to be aware that it is a difference. There is a difference in bioavailability for your horse, and therefore could affect the hind gut. We do see issues when horses are fed just on pellets and nuts as opposed to hay. So you've got to try and think of a way to get more fiber in them that isn't really just through those processed concentrated pellets and nuts. It is something to think about. If your horse starts to get a little bit footy for whatever reason, then that can be one of the problems. You can't compare the two as being equal because they're not. Surface area and all that jazz, stuff like that. Good question. Caroline is here. Hello from Portugal. Hello. Sandra's from Czech. Hi. Have you? Oh, it comes up differently on this. Oh, because you wrote it in. That's why. Oh, I'll catch up in a minute. So thick. David says, are you allowed to recommend a rasp brand, and can you buy boxes of them cheaper? Yeah, I don't see why not. We like Hella Legends. And yes, you can buy boxes of 5 in a box.
The boxes are 5 now. They used to be 6, but they've reduced it to 5 now.
Weight in the post.
Some of us, Lindsay and I like the white tag ones.
They're called white tang.
White tang, yeah. And some of our students like the green tang one as well.
And then there's red, and then there's black, I think.
Yeah. But the white and the green are most popular with our people, from what I can gather.
And make sure you get yourself a rasp handle.
Rasp handle, absolutely. Safety.
Thank you. Yes, safety. Thank you. Yes, I think he meant by them sorting their sharp bits out themselves. According to him, they can't, and it has nothing to do with diet. Diet can affect their teeth just like we can, and like it can with us. So, yeah. And they are grinding surfaces. They're different to ours. If you, I mean, it's just kind of logic, really, isn't it? If you've not got a lot of fiber in there to grind the surfaces, and the horse is on grass constantly, and they haven't really got that tough fiber, then it's going to affect those grinding surfaces. Whereas if you've got lots of fiber, they are also going to affect the grinding surfaces, and we hope in a positive way. I mean, it's just substance, isn't it? It's just what that substance is. And with a horse's teeth, unlike our teeth, we are brachiodont and horses are hypsodont, which means that in brachiodont we have our crown above the gum at all times. Below that are the root, and that's it. But with a horse, because they're erupting continually, they have their crown well below the gum, and it just keeps on, the surfaces keep, because it's not growing. You'll get pulled up by a dentist for saying growing. They're erupting because they're just coming up to the surface as they're being ground down, which is why when they're youngsters, you can see these big lumps often underneath their jaws, and sometimes up here too, because that's where the ends of their teeth are. So teeth are fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Karen, lots of claps. Oh no, not clap, a wave. Hello, and starry eyes. Good to see you, Karen. Have we seen Karen before? I don't know. I've had a few Karens. Monica's here. Hello, Monica. Good to see you. Jenny says, thank you, Ari the Lives. Another question. If a horse has a problem with teeth, oh, we're on teeth, Gary. We're on teeth. If a horse has a problem with teeth and needs fiber, is chaff versus hay as good? Being chaff is chopped up hay, so the chewing benefit's not as great. Well, what can we do? I mean, you know, if we've got a horse with teeth issues, we're kind of giving with one hand and taking with the other, aren't we? We can't make it perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But chaff, I would, if I had a preference, I would try and have chaff over anything else. And softer. Make it softer if you can. I don't know if I answered your question then. Karen says, what about if you want to get weight on your horse? I struggle with one of mine. No, oh, just a poor doer. Our grass pellets okay. Then I have to say to you that in all the experience that we've had with horses on track, if horses are fed the right hay continually and they never run out, they haven't got ulcer problems, they've not got gut issues, and let's face it, lots of fiber all the time helps those ulcers as well. And you do it over a period of time, then the majority really of horses will settle down. Some, if you keep doing a bit of grass, bit of hay, bit of grass, bit of hay, it can bother the gut. Obviously, it can unbalance the gut. Not that I'm saying that's what you're doing. I'm not saying that, but I'm just giving scenarios of reasons why. And so therefore, if the gut's unbalanced, you can start to get problems with leaky gut. You can start to get problems with colitis. You can get all kinds of gut issues that you might not really know are going on inside your horse's gut, and things like ulcers, etc. And these can all affect weight gain, and they can affect how the horse uses and creates more nutrients for the horse through the microbes. Because if you haven't got a balanced hind gut, then the microbes aren't going to be there giving the horse all the things that they need to give to the horse to keep the horse rocking along nicely. So it's about the system. It's about having a very stable system, and about having that stable system go on for forever, and not to swap and change with the seasons, because that can cause problems. Now, that said and done, if you do that, most horses will, if they're underweight, will come up, and most horses that are overweight will come down till they find their their stable weight where they like to be, as long as the hay isn't being changed too much. But there are those horses, there are those occasional horses that do appear thinner than a great deal of than others. Now, there's a couple of questions you've got to ask yourself there. If that horse is actually fine within itself, then that is more likely going to be at a reasonable weight for that horse, if it hasn't got other problems. I'm saying once you've been on this system a while and we've got a horse who's still a little bit, to us, looking underweight. To the horse, not necessarily. Lots of skinny human beings out there, and we don't just go rushing up to them in the street and hand them bags of donuts, do we? Because in our opinion, they look a bit thin. You're not going to do that, you know. But sometimes we just don't like it because we compare them to our other horses, and we're like, my God, my other horses are like looking fantastic. That one looks like a hat rack, and God knows what my friends are going to think. But hat racks can go on for donkey's years. Just because they're a hat rack doesn't mean to say they're unhealthy. Just means to say that, I mean, not a hat rack, but just a horse that is a bit thinner. So I think it's about, you know, you've always got to make sure the teeth are all right. You've got to make sure that you keep this system going over forever. You know, you don't keep changing the system, because it's a prebiotic, the hay, encouraging good bacteria to accumulate and diversify in the gut. But then if you go along and go, well, I'd just put them in the middle a few times, or I'll just, you know, and you do that on a daily basis or at least a few times a week, then you've got to understand that that is going to affect that hind gut, right? If you're going to be doing it all the time, to do it once in a while, if your horse gets out on grass, it's not going to be a major issue. But if you're going to be doing it over and over and over again, not that I'm saying you are, this is for anybody watching, then that can cause the gut to have that imbalance, and that can therefore lead to other issues. So I think I've said all that twice. So basically, give it time. So the other part of your question is, are grass pellets okay then? You really, really have to go some to feed horses bucket feeds to affect their weight. You can feed pellets and linseed and all sorts of things to a horse over a couple of feeds a day, and it really makes not a lot of difference to their weight. But then if you start doing it 4 or 5 times a day, then obviously that's going to start making a difference. We think it does, we think it will, but it usually it doesn't. So my answer to that would be, if they can chew hay, and they're swallowing hay and they're not quidding, they don't need pellets to top them up. Because what are you doing when we're topping them up and we're giving them that concentrated, more bioavailable pellet that is potentially going to spike their system? So hang on in there, keep making sure you never run out of hay, and keep that hay going, and just maybe accept the fact that that horse is just going to be a bit slimmer than your other horses. Maybe. It's a good question though. Comes up a lot. Hello, Karen. Oh, Ruth's here. Hello, Ruth. Good to see you, my lovely. You having a night off? Not getting up early. See you in a week. Camilla's here. Hello, Camilla from Sweden. Hello. Are you new to us tonight? I don't think we've seen Camilla before. Dave says, I have a Hella Legend green. Yay, got something right. Well, there you go. See? Yeah, I've tried. I used to use Safe Edge some years ago. And what was the other one I used? There was another one.
I really liked, because I got sent a bag of green tang. Sorry, a box of green tang. And I really liked the rough side. But the fine side, I couldn't stand. Getting that nice roll on, I couldn't it was horrible.
Too rough. Was it too rough? The rough side, no, the fine side?
No, it wasn't too rough. It was just that it wasn't the same kind of teeth. That they're completely different. So it must be the way that I got used to using the white hang. I think that's what it is. But I loved it for the for taking off quite a bit and needing to get the job done. But the fine side, couldn't stand it. Couldn't stand it. It's amazing what you get used to, isn't it?
It is amazing. And I rasped my face. Oh, did you? Well done.
Well done, Judy.
Hoof Hero. Did you take photos? Susan says, thank you very much, R.E. Hay Pellets question. My dentally challenged horse does eat a bit of hay, but probably can't chew it efficiently enough to be of much nutritional value. Thus spoke my equine dentist. I can't find a chaff short enough for him to manage. He has back teeth, but they are worn smooth. Dear old codger. Dear old codger. Well, you just have to manage, don't you? The best you can when their teeth start going, because in the wild they'd be dead and gone. Because they starve to death. It's not pleasant being in the wild. They'd either starve to death or get eaten. One or the other, poor things. And we have a handle which just gets in the way. No.
That's no excuse.
No,
it's about technique, David.
Put it on. No naked rasps. You've got to be clothed. Hi, Bonnie. Tuesday. What's for dinner on Tuesday? Oh, she don't even need to ask. Fish taco today. Did you make that yourself, or have you been naughty and gone off and got that as a takeaway? I want to know. I want to know how many of your lunches are takeaways every week, Bonnie. We're going to have to discuss it. Kim Stoodley, thank you. I'm now off my dentist. No, don't go off. Go and look on Chris Pierce's website. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, because he might have quite a lot of good information on there as well. Yeah. Let me see if I can find him. Yeah, this is them. Not that I have him as a dentist, but there might be quite a lot of stuff you can find from this website. I haven't really gone through it much myself, but he is very well renowned. So go have a look at that. That is equinedentalclinic.co.uk. What are your thoughts on a horse with teeth with a wave mouth formation? Now, come on now. I'm not a dentist. I know a fair bit, but I don't know everything. Well, as far as I know, what they'll try and do is over time, they will try and correct the wave. But there's only so much they can actually do, in fact. But again, it really just depends on the dentist and how good the dentist is with their tools as well. So, yeah, I believe they can be. I mean, I've had horses with wave formations and they've corrected it. So I don't know if there are some that you can't correct. You're probably getting to the ultimate, but the top of my knowledge now. Go and look at Chris Pierce's website is what I'd say. Go and have a look at him. He's the dentist. I'm the hoof lady. From the companies that I have found, most have ryegrass in bag dried mangoes. Yeah. And that is the other thing as well, is unfortunately you do get, it's not the same as your mixed meadow hay that you're getting from the farmer, even though it might say mixed meadow grass. You're not sure. We can never be sure, because that you can hide a multitude of sins in something that's very compressed, and it's often grass as well. It's not necessarily hay, is it? When we're feeding hay, we're feeding something that's got quite a high structural carbohydrate fiber in it. But when you're feeding grass pellets, what height was that grass when it was cut, and how fibrous was it? These are all things we don't know, and we just don't know. So there's another reason why grass pellets can be a problem if they're more grass than hay. Jackie's here from Lanzarote. Hello, Jackie from Lanzarote. What's it like there? Oh, sunny today. It's my impression of Lanzarote. My impression of sunny and windy. Sunny and a bit sandy. Got sand in my mouth. Dorothy King's here from Newfoundland. Hello, Dorothy King from Newfoundland. Are you new to us? Are you new to the family here, the live family? Good to see you. Sue Bean, anyone tried a Cody James rasp? Nope. I
haven't, no. But I know people have that have thought that they're pretty good. But they're so expensive. I'm a bit tight.
Are those the ones that have the?
I think they're the ones that got the holes in.
The gaps in them.
Gaps inside. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I'm pretty sure that's the ones that we're talking about.
I think it is as well. I
tried. Somebody told me to try a Japanese file rasp as well, and that was absolutely rubbish.
I guess it's what you get. You never get back. I guess it's what you get used to.
Try these things, though. It's good to try these things.
We have tried all sorts of things in the past, and also we do get given things at workshops, and also very occasionally. I mean, I'm sure it's a mistake when things get misplaced, but occasionally our lovely rasps go, and we get left with crappy ones, so we get to use them, and crap. So not the Cody James ones, but other rasps. You've got to get the right kind of rasp. You really do when you're rasping. It's important. Therese is here from Sweden. Hello, Therese. Oh, naughty today. 2 days out of the week I go out. The rest it's from home. I caught you. I caught you with your fish tacos. Is it tacos or taco? I don't know. Is it taco? How are you going to write that in the comments? 21 residents at our ranch. Fat ones, thin ones, just right ones, and all fed the same way regarding hay. The elderly do get a different afford feed to support them with health challenges. I used to sweat the small struggle regarding waistline, but after 12+ years, those shapes and sizes haven't altered unless they have got on well. And initially, those who did need to lose weight did, and those that needed to gain did. It's very interesting. It is. It is. They've got to be happy too.
It depends on the horse, doesn't it?
They've got to be happy too, right? They've got to be settled. They can't be stressed. There's got to be enough hay put out so they're not hanging around. I mean, hey, horses do that anyway, don't they? You know, you've got loads of hay out there, and then you see the high-ranking individuals scoffing on this particular bit of hay, and the lower-ranking individuals sometimes like hanging back like this with their heads down, and they're just waiting. And you're like, why? Go over there. There's some hay. I don't want that hay over there. I want the hay that my leader, that my beloved top ranker is eating above. I want that hay. Please go and eat hay somewhere else. No. And then they move off and they go, thank you. They move in to get the scraps. So sometimes it's just horses, but make sure you've got enough hay piles. Always, we say 3 times more, at least 3 times more than the number of horses that you have in terms of boxes, piles, nets, whatever. That's what we say. Blake, Chris is brilliant. He has done a lot of work on my boy. Max doesn't produce enough cement in his teeth, so gets a lot of holes, so gets diastemas. And Chris root canals them. Oh, somehow that I can see pound signs just floating in front of my eyes. Were you sure you wanted to buy a Suffolk Punch? I mean, it's very admirable of you, and he's beautiful, but my word, but he's got amazing mouth. Handle is on. That said, I have seen Lindsay. Yes, you did. You did. And
and she hated it.
I got called up on it by a couple of people, farriers and etc. And like, oh, you shouldn't use it. It's dangerous. And it is. I am a seasoned expert. So I took that risk, but I don't do it normally. And I have to tell you why you've seen me do that. Because Asher nicked my handle. I didn't have a handle. It's true, isn't it, Gary?
It is.
my
and then
daughter.
I'd left one of my rasps at a client's, and I had to wait 6 weeks. And now Lindsay's nicked my spare handle. She has.
I have.
Yeah.
I can't bear rasping. I can't bear rasping without. But you'll hear me comment on it if you.
It just goes to show, doesn't it? You can't go out and do filming with one horse on one day without people picking it up.
Oh, they did. People picked it up, and rightly so. But I did try and say, it was nicked. I didn't have it. However, Wheat Belly is changing my eating habits. You're still reading. It's good, isn't it? It's good. I just love the fact that he goes back and he finds about these relic wheats and spelt, but then he finds out more research and more. You start to find out all about how they've done these fairly unethical tests here and there, and all the problems they've linked linked wheat to. From arthritis to diabetes to inflammatory issues throughout the body to skin issues to heart problems, you name it, it's in there. And the world doesn't want you to know about it because wheat's staple, it's in everything. So, and then all about GMing. It's a fascinating book. I love that book. I've read it about 4 times. I need to refresh. Okay, thanks. My dentist is correcting it and comes every 6 months. Yeah. I think if you've got corrections to do, there's sometimes, if depending on how bad it is, they'll come 3 monthly as well. Yeah. Maggie's here. Hi, Maggie. Hi, everyone. She says. Jackie says, you have I? What have I done? I don't know. Look at that. I just needed to just say one thing 3 comments before, and I've forgotten already. Gemma Rolando signed up for the 15-day challenge today. Excited to get started. Ooh, you might not have been let in then, because sometimes I do a bit of letting in, and I might not let you in. Sorry. I promise I'll get that sorted after the live. If you've not been let in, that will be my fault. I do apologise. You've Angie Medler. I have a Cody James. It's not my favourite. I don't. Watch this. We were that. Do you know something, Jackie? I think you're probably having a bit of a fit right now with your phone, aren't you? But damn fine, just do what I want you to do. I get it. Jenny says, Cody J. Marastas are amazing, come in different levels. Fine, medium, heavy, last for ages. Downside, no smooth side, but not much effort needed to file through. Yeah, I think that's about, I don't know. Like I said, you get used to what you get used to, I think. You do. So it's whatever you get used to. That's Lanza.
Lanzarote.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. Hard feed. What about a hard feed? Taco. Not tacos. Oh, God. Did you laugh at me when I said that? I bet you did. Should we all see Grace's wonderful abscess transformation? Let's go. Where did she put it? Where did you put it, Grace? Let me go and share the screen. Share. Phoenix Way. Boop. Right. Can you all see this? I'm going to make you sick while I start scrolling. There it is.
Great.
Right. Now then, look at this, 7 months of perseverance with this gorgeous hill pony who abscess coming off the hills. First photo taking early October 2023. Gosh, I remember when you sent me that. I do remember when you sent me that. And last photo taken today. What a fantastic recovery for this gorgeous filly. Absolutely. And let's just take a good look at the devastation here. Up all around that lateral cartilage, well, just in front and to the side, around that lateral cartilage. But can you see that she'd already abscessed before? Can you see this? So that area there in her foot had already been problematic. And then this time when it happened, it could have been to do with the stress of the move as well, which is why it got so bad. But yeah, we've seen some whoppers like this. over the years. And then, but excuse me, but ponies would get put to sleep for this, and they don't need to, because they will and should repair. And as you can see, it's starting to repair here as we go along, and then it's doing that interesting weird sort of as it's repairing here, you get all this odd stuff that's coming out just around the coronary band, which eventually settles down. But you see the horn line has been bust right open, because when it bust open, it opened all the way up to here and all the way around. And then it all starts coming down. Are we on that one next? I think we're on this one next. Is that right? Yeah. And look at this. And I have to tell you, and Grace will probably tell you, it, as horrific as this looks, I think the filly was sound all the way through. And they should be, because once this is all going and healing, the trick is not to keep cutting and debriding. You've got to let the foot kind of do itself. If you've got any tags, you can deal with that, but you just got to let the foot get on with itself. And all of this crazy distorted tissue that's going down, and Grace is doing a very good job at just keeping those edges so they're not too sharp, but just keeping, look how Grace is keeping the balance. Do you see this? Look, all the time she's ignoring this. She's keeping that heel to toe balance, always looking at the heel to toe balance. Ignore pathology. Grace has that imprinted on her mind. Now you can start to see this healing, but look how the up here is healing now, up at the coronary band. As this old horn is coming down, we've got this new horn being created. So it looks awful, but you know, these horses recover. They recover from these dreadful abscesses. They recover very well. And now we've got to the stage, look, we've got good horn above now, which we never thought, you know, if you'd looked up here, you'd have never thought would ever happen. But now we've got great horn coming down, still got some scar tissue, and this is going to crack off. This is going to snap off any second now, which I think, or is it gone? Which way? Yeah, that's right. And then down here, that's a good shot. You can see you've got some slight distortion in the horn tubules, but that scar tissue has healed up really nicely now. So it only snapped off a little bit. Still not snapped off as it's gone down. Look at the big change, right? Look at this. Look how much better the horn is above these the big ring. This is when, just after the abscess, when it was, the foot was resorting itself out. So that's a big, massive ring, if you like. All that disturbance in the coronary band around those papillae, creating that foot. But above it, look, it's pretty smooth, not really any big rings or anything. It's looking pretty good. We've got some rings, but not too bad. This is starting to knit together, and there's no need to put Meccano on there or screw plates on to try and hold it together. The foot will do, and this do it itself. And this pony's been marching around quite happily, not been confined, just getting on with it. And you can see it's starting to knit together. And now we've really got that knitting together. And at this point here, you've got to be careful not to try and debride it. It's tempting to get in there and debride. You've got to still just leave it alone, and it will just keep on going. And what you'll see eventually, when this all settles down, when this is finally grown out, you'll just see this fine line, you know, maybe a few mils wide coming down. And look how that coronary band has really, truly settled down. And then I don't think it was very old at all. No, I mean, she was still very young. So this was happening at a time when her hooves were growing as well, as in size, as her body was growing. So absolutely top job there. Top job. What did she do? She just ignored the pathology. She didn't dig at the pathology. She kept that foot balanced with what she could see, got the diet and the management right, and the body does the rest. I think Grace very much deserves
I'm going to have to take this to camp, aren't I?
Yes.
I'm going to have to ask my wife very carefully to nick her pen.
Yes, please, darling. Can I take
Please,
your pen?
darling. She doesn't like the word darling.
No.
I've just got the look.
Sarah Lou's here. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Good morning, team. Good morning. What time is it over there in New Zealand? Hi, all. Suzanne. Hi, all. Grace says Philly was sound. The foot fell apart. That's why we took that hoof wall away. Yeah, because it will just crack off anyway. But sound. Absolutely sound. Brilliant job, Grace. You are a star. There you go. From one HMB Pro to the next. Good job, girlie. You did well. So I've been told now this is like a religion. Let's just agree to disagree. And you and your friends and my other friends said I'm in a cult. Yes, that's right. As they both have horses with so many issues, and my horse at 32 is thriving, trying to help friends. Oh, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I know, Stephanie. Oh, you'll get... Oh, I know, right?
It's frustrating. It is frustrating. We know it is, but
we know.
Sometimes you just got to lead by example.
You do, and we know that that's what...
Pick your battles, and you just got to just protect yourself, because sometimes they're just not ready to listen.
No, we know people call it a cult, but that's just a defamatory put down.
It is.
To try and shut the conversation down, to try and go, we don't want to go there. You know, they've got these leaders. But all we're saying is we're setting you up with information. Now it's your job to go off and see if it works with your horse. If you're getting it right, it'll work.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Every single time. Every single time.
8 o'clock, that's not too bad. 8 o'clock in the morning, that's not too bad. Just plant seed, be good example, I reckon. Yeah, that's what we do. We just plant that seed. Always plant that seed and be a good example. You know, you start off quite evangelistic about it. And when you start to see incredible results yourself, you can't help but want to help. I noticed there was a post today. It's quite a funny post. Did you see it, Gary, on the Phoenix group, where they were saying, I can't, that's it now. I know that all having watched the lives, I can't.
Oh, yes, I did see that one.
I can't look at horses the same again. Now all I do is look at their feet every time I see them and then go, oh, and Adele went, I know it ruins your holiday. Don't look, don't look. I honestly, that's me. Don't look. Mum, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Can you remember that time? Where were we going? We were going to a workshop. I can't remember which one it was, and we booked an Airbnb for the weekend, for the long weekend. And when we turned up, it was like a converted barn, and outside was a horse walker, an arena, and about 50 stables with all of the horses shut in it. My God.
We didn't stay, did we?
Can't stay here. Can't stay here. Can't stay
plus
here.
We didn't get any Wi-Fi, so we couldn't stay anyway.
We didn't get any Wi-Fi. We needed Wi-Fi.
That was a hard weekend. We weren't going to go back there.
Oh my goodness. And if we go out, most of the time, we don't want people to know that we've got horses.
No.
We really don't.
No, we're not. We don't look particularly horsey, so we don't talk. And what do you do? Well, we publish a magazine. What on? Oh, it's just health. Don't talk about horses. The Cure cult sounds good. The Cure cult sounds good. That is another horse wanting an HM. There's another horse wanting an HM trim on Taree. Think there is 18 now, and I haven't even put a post up yet. How many horses do you reckon, Sarah, are on Taree? Because it's not very big, is it? What would you compare to? Well, I suppose you can't compare it with an awful lot if you've never been to a lot of other places in the UK. But well, you might have done. What would you compare it to? Therese says, I'd rather be in the barefoot cult than the iron cult. Me too. Me too. 100%. The lady I had that long chat with last week keeps her daughter's horse at a livery yard. The livery yard owner owns 3 horses herself, and they are all lame. There have been estimates, and there have been various bits of research done, and it is estimated that over 80% of domestic horses that are used are actually lame. People don't notice it. As in, I'm not just like, ooh, ooh, but lame. We probably spot it. We've got a good chance of spotting and you've got to think about asymmetry as well, because you've got asymmetry going on. Is asymmetry necessarily going to be a problem? Is it going to be a problem if you don't balance the feet? Yes. Is it going to be a problem in later life? Are they going to be more predisposed to problems? Depends. I've seen horses that look essentially great and are rubbish on their feet because they've been trimmed so badly or shod badly. And I've seen horses that have got the weirdest conformation, sound as a pound, because they're kept naturally and trimmed naturally. So we do an awful lot to injure the horse and to affect soundness ourselves. And that just doesn't, it's not just about the feet, is it? It's all about, of course, what we feed and how we keep, but also how we ride them, if we ride them, and what tack we put them in, and all of and the way we ride, and false collection, and all of those things, all of them are part and parcel of causing issues. I'm only on day 5 and I already need a blindfold and a gag. That's what you were laughing at.
That's what I was giggling at a very inappropriate time when we were talking about something quite serious. This is me giggling because I was reading Jackie's comment.
Oh, that's funny. 600 residents, probably 30 plus horses. Wow. Wow. Oh, hello, Cindy. I'm late. Was trimming. Ooh, funny that. Hoof. Hello, darling. It's good to see you. Oh, have you been to see that lady yet? Vincent lady yet? Tell me. It only takes 25 minutes to drive around the whole island. Gosh. God. Do you know everybody? I mean, I know 600. But you might. I bet you know I bet there have been families that have been there forever, right? And so everybody knows certain families. Do you know a lot of people? How many of those 600 do you reckon you know? Stephanie, and they're always reaching out for help. So yes, planting seeds help is here when they are ready. Yes, so hard to watch. My friend's horse wouldn't let the farrier near his feet. So now they are getting the vet to drug him so they can shoe him. So hard to watch. Same with the other nails all over his hooves. He keeps kicking them off. Oh dear. Oh, it's sad, isn't it? It is sad. It really is. I can't bear it. She said the livery yard owner would never set up a track, but the sad part is she said there was a track going all the way around the 26 acres, which everyone uses just to gallop around. For the humans who have fun, methinks. Friday, great. Looking forward to hearing all about it. Yes, everyone, you can't move without hearing your own gossip. I'll bet. And if you want to just plant a seed, it'd be probably quite good fun. That we're going to watch.
It's a bit like Chinese whispers, isn't it? You could actually start a rumor that would be very, very small, but by the time it got back to you, it could be massive.
It could be. We played. Do you remember, Gary? We played that at Christmas. We played Chinese whispers at Christmas, and we got 2 groups of us, and then we
were far too drunk, and I had no memory.
It just honestly, you don't remember. Somebody says something to you, and you just immediately say it again, and you don't get it right. Chinese whispers is funny. Bonnie Curler, such a responsibility, right? Most horse folk have no idea about their horse's lameness. No, they don't. And you can't unsee it. We've said that so many times before. But you do have to, sometimes for your own sanity, you have to exercise just a bit of restraint and just sadly look the other way sometimes, because I've said it before, the teacher will only arrive when the student is ready to listen. And far, far too many people are just not ready to listen. So they have to find it. And usually it's like with horsemanship, natural horsemanship. I've got quite a, you know, over the years, I've done it for a long time. And again, people would often find natural horsemanship when they had big problems with their horses, and they didn't want to put their horse down. Obviously, they didn't want to sell their horse, and they thought, well, look, there is only one option left. I either send it off to a trainer or I try and do it, or my trainer won't have it anymore. So I have to try and see if I can do this myself. But it tends to be a last resort, horsemanship and hoof care, which is really sad, but true. We nearly did that last week. My sister went to buy a pregnancy test at the co-op for a laugh. I'd have been pregnant with twins that weren't Alex's by the time I got home. I'll bet. Oh, funny. Fun. Have you got, so are there pubs on the island? We're talking about Tiree, everybody, in the Inner Hebrides in Scotland, if you're wondering what island we're talking about. Which apparently has only 600 residents, about 30 horses. It's very interesting. Right, well, I think we might shut off early tonight, Gary. We might shut off because I want to go and watch a film. Has anybody seen Wicked Little Letters?
No.
Look it up. I don't know where it's been released all over the world. It's an English film, and it has Olivia Colman in it, and Timmy.
She's a great actress, isn't she?
Timmy. And I can't think. I'm so rubbish with actors and actresses' names, but it's going to be funny. No, but it looks brill. It's really brilliant. Trying to just lead by my humble example. Even then, I am constantly learning and changing myself. Oh yeah, we are constantly learning about stuff in the body. That's why biology is so fascinating, because you're always learning, because they don't know. We just don't know. We just do not know about so much. What we do know, though, is that the fact that we don't know it means that there isn't still a lot for us to learn. You're quite right. Such a fun evening. Thanks. You're welcome, Dawn. You have time to watch movies? I'm too busy studying HM. Not always. Not always. But tonight, I might just do that. I might just do that. So I'm going to go. And I'm going to go and relax and watch a bit of TV, which is unheard of for me. Not yet, waiting for it to come on to Sky. I was in Downton Abbey today. Were you watching it, or were you actually at where they'd filmed Downton Abbey? I've never got into it, and I really know that I should.
No, I watched Abbey. Rachel doesn't like it, but I like Downton Abbey. I've watched it all the way through.
Have you? Georgia and I've started watching it. I think George has watched loads now, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get into Downton Abbey. I couldn't. Have read about it. Let us know if it's any good. Timothy Spall. That's right, Timothy Spall. Thank you. You guys rock. Thanks, Dorothy.
Thanks, Dorothy.
Wish me luck. 2 new trims this morning. Toe chopped. Wish me luck. We will, Joe. We'll wish you luck. Thanks, team. Watch what gig? I don't know. I can hear Timmy doing things with the TV out there, so I'm going to go. All right, Toe. Yes.
Getting ready.
Getting ready. If we last another few seconds, we'll have almost gone to an hour, which has got to be one of our shortest lives.
It has, ever. But it's been lovely chatting, hasn't it?
It has been lovely chatting. I hope you've enjoyed it. Didn't do a lot of talking about a specific thing tonight, but we were able to see Grace's rehab of the pony, of the filly with the terrible abscess. Well done.
Terrible abscess and quarter crack. And teeth. That was today.
Oh, and yeah, teeth. And teeth. Adios. Adios. They sound like you. Yeah, what? The hoof. Thank you. Thank you.
The people on the film.
Oh, yes. Well, it's because we're English, darling. Did they say hoof? Right then. See you.
Lindsay sounds more northern than me.
I do. I have a northern twang, but you probably can't discern that if you haven't got an English accent, no. If you've got an American accent. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Think of your questions before tomorrow. All right then. Bye-bye. See ya.